Hey everyone, I'm Nick in the States, and today we're going to do a little update on this bad boy, my 2014 Melody Maker and TV Yellow Project guitar featuring lovely GFS Hot Liverpool mini humbuckers. But first I want to do just a few updates on items in flight. So let's get started. This week was a happy week in that I finally have a working Bugera amp that I'm going to keep. I got a Bugera BC-30, which is their matchless DC-30 clone. 2 independent non-switching channels. Left side's really like an AC-30, and the right side's kind of like a harder driven thing that you can definitely go all the way to Marshall JCM 800-ish tones to. Close anyway. It's a big, beast, loud, awesome thing that you can kick down to half power with a pentode triode switch. And she's really cool. She's really loud. But I'm still getting to know her, and at some point we will do a video, which will be wonderful. I did send back my 333XL. 3 basic reasons for that are, A, it wasn't the Infinium model, and at the $350 price point that I had it at, it wasn't a phenomenal deal. Still a great amp, loud as all can be, but there's that. Also, if in the forums, the 333XLs and the 6262s that a lot of the people got had issues were either shorts after use for a while or dead out of the box. And for an amp that I'm not going to play all that often, I don't want it to die on me a year later and then have no real recourse, or a year and change. And finally, it's holy bejesus loud. And for me, I play mostly in my living room. My wife and kids are home about 90% of the time I play. That thing would never get exercise, and I could put that money elsewhere. Which brings me to my next point. For what I got in a refund on the 333XL and the discount that they gave me for the hassle on the DC-30 or the BC-30, I've reinvested this wisely in 2 purchases. The first being these 2 Harley Bentons, an E35, which is a 335 clone in cherry, and then an H450 Plus, which is really their Les Paul clone, Les Paul standard kind of clone, in a beautiful honeyburst. Both are en route, although they have encountered some problems, and I just got a tracking that the packaging on it was damaged to the point where they've returned it and sending it back to the seller. I think as soon as it hit the States, it was briefly on our shores, and is on its way back to Germany. So this is sad, but it's not uncommon. A lot of the Harley Bentons that have come in to the guys on the Agile forums, shout out, are coming in with beat up, or one of them had the switch actually poked through, little dings on the headstock, cracks towards the headstock angle. So some issues there because, I mean, they're a low-cost guitar and they used to probably just slinging them around Europe. And you add the transatlantic love that they get from guys loading them onto planes and off and whatnot, and I think that they're not really packaged perfectly for that. But hey, silver lining is they fixed the problem on route. It's going back to them. I don't have to try and ship another thing back or repackage it or whatever, or have my heart broken when I'm thinking to get it. So it's just a matter of waiting longer. And while we're talking about waiting longer, those 2 guitars, $307 shipped though. That's the one thing. The dollar and the euro relationship makes a lot of things in Europe cheap right now. Also cheap, also having to wait though too, is this little gem. And this is an Alex Chase double cutaway, allegedly named the Cobra because of the one on the headstock. And it's like a Santana or a Les Paul double cut standard, with abalone inlays, set neck, really nice curly maple top, good looking finish on it, inlays in the headstock. It's a 3-piece neck, so with a scarf joint and a little heel joint thing, and at least a 2 or 3-piece body. But very nice finish, really well done. The guitar itself is filthy, reeks of cigarettes. My hands were disgusting for a long time afterwards. But it was over in the Misfit Toys at Guitar Center for $99. And I loves me some Les Paul double cutaway shaped guitars. So I bought it, but it's on police hold, which means they have to wait 30 days after trade-in to release it to whoever buys it. And I bought it on the first or second day it was in the shop. And so I waited another 28 days for it. Sad, so sad, but cool though. It's a neat looking little guitar. I'll do a review of that thing. Might have to switch the pickups out. They tend to have a crap rep. And it's made by, so Alex Chase is a guitar store outside of Nashville that burnt to the ground a handful of years ago, and they never reopened. So there's not a lot of these guitars, and there's not a lot of info out there. So there's that. Thanks to Permanent Wood is the user's name. Seems like Prior Prism might be a problem, but it's working out for him. And he's on I think the guitar site forums. He had some info on it. So thanks, brother. While we're rambling and giving shout outs, another guy, just take a look at this dude. His name's James Shipway, James Shipway Guitar. He's out of the UK. He's a lovely chap. And he, he's got a startup channel with a bunch of guitar lessons and stuff. Seems like a really nice dude. We went back and forth on some gear talk on my YouTube channel and offline too. And really good guy. Go check out his channel. There's a link below. Get some really nice tones out of some, your basic budget gear. And I'm all about the budget gear, especially for the guys starting out, or the guys on a budget, or the guys who are married and whose wife have put them on a budget. It's the way to go. Plus, if you're addictive, you can buy more cheap stuff than the expensive stuff. Anywho, last but certainly not least, let's update this bad boy. So 2014 Melody Maker Special full-size headstock, carved maple cap, nice thin slimline bad boy, just like the Les Paul Custom Light and the Les Paul Less. It's basically the same body dimensions as both. 2 mini humbuckers, wraparound bridge, and your standard Les Paul configuration of a toggle switch, 2 volumes, 2 tones. Bought it on the eBay from the Stratosphere for the great price of $230, I believe, with no parts. So found some tuners, bought a TNT Guitars wiring harness. On these, just so you know, they are long shaft pots. So you need to make sure you have those or else they won't fit. 6-gun guitars, bought a used little bridge from them, and a pair of GFS Hot Liverpool Alnico some sort mini humbuckers. And I tell you what, I like it. I've got a lot of guitars with P90s, so I wanted to have something with a different tone, and I've liked these for a while. And they've got roll off nice. They roll off kind of nice too. Great little pickups, and then even with a little bit of dirt, and they kind of sing for that, like, they're not high output humbuckers, they're not, big boys, they're not metal, but they're pretty sweet. So all in all, she's a wonderful little guitar. She will get a Bigsby back on it. My SG Classic has absconded with this one, so we have a suitable replacement coming in for about $100 from my good friends, also the Stratosphere. And yeah. So with that, I've been Nick in the States, and obviously, I have issues. Thanks for swinging by.